Okay, so guys, today we are going to be talking about our discussion forum. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do.
Discuss the concept of parameters. What are parameters for? What is the difference between formal parameters and actual parameters? Give an example in Java code that illustrates formal parameters and actual parameters.
So, what are parameters? We're going to give the concepts about parameters and what are formal and actual parameters. Okay, so we're going to explain that and still give a code example of that. Okay, so it's very easy. It's very easy. If you're confused, I'm going to show you them, both the actual and the formal parameter, and I'm going to give you some code examples. So let's get to it. Okay guys, for my example, for you guys to understand the formal parameter and the actual parameter better, I'm going to do a calculator, and the calculator is going to take in a method in the class main. Okay, so the method will be in charge of calculating and the main method will be in charge of telling you the answer. Okay, let's go that through. Okay, so first of all, let's make a variable for the numbers. So let's say, let's use int. So the user want to, let's give it a number 1. This will be the first number. So we are plussing 5. Okay, then we'll use this one for 2. So this is just in case the user put 5 and 2. Maybe the user want to know 5 plus, let's say, 37. Okay. So right now this will be in charge of where the user will put the input for the calculation. Okay, so right now let's assume this is what the user put. The user wants to know 5 plus 37. What's the answer? Okay, so now we'll create a method. The method will be static. Okay, static. Then we are going to give it a variable. Okay, so what type of method do you want it to be? You want it to be a return method, a method of the type of integer. So we'll give it an integer. This is going to be the name of the method. Let's give it an answer. That is the name of the method. Or what name should fit the method? Let's think. I think I don't know. Let's give it cal for calculate. So let's open the brackets. Okay, so you're seeing the method is giving an error because this method is expected to return something. Okay, so let's do this. Let's give it 2 variables. That is here, giving 2 parameter. Okay, so I give in 2 parameter. The parameter will come here in between these parentheses, that is in between this opening and close bracket. Okay, so we're giving the type of int, the name of the parameter. What should we give him the name? Okay, let's give it this. Let's give it the parameter number 1. Okay, that's for the first number the user input. Okay, then put a comma. Okay, give it a comma for the next number. Okay. Now number, let's give number 2. Okay, so this main method we take in 2 parameters for the first number, that's this one, and for the second number the user enter. Okay, now this parameter here is called a formal parameter. You know why it's called a formal parameter. I'm going to explain later in the future. Okay, now inside this, let's create a variable. Let's call it int. Okay, int. The variable will be an integer. We're going to give it short for answer. That is what is going to calculate it for us. So now we're doing 1, that is the first number, plus the second number the user is going to input. Okay, so right now we will return the answer. Okay, so if you return the answer, whenever this calculates and we return answer, okay, so it's just going to return the answer. So let me show you what I'm saying. So right now these variables they don't have a value. This main method don't have a value. Let me show you what I'm saying. So if I was to give it a value by putting this equals to and say 5, okay, it's showing an error. Why is that? It's supposed to ask, okay, it's not expecting a comma. Yes, because the statement is end, the end there. So I think then we put a, let's use 35 so that we'll see what's there. The error is not still going. What is it complaining of? It's expecting a, okay, let's delete this. What am I doing? Okay, so let me see this. Okay, it's not allowing me to have a value. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, so right now this is where the numbers are going to come in, the first number and the second number. Okay, then we are going to plus them together and the answer will be inside this variable, so we are returning the answer. Okay, so right now whenever we call this method, we need to provide arguments for them. So we need to provide 2 arguments for them because they're taking 2 parameters here. Okay, so right now this parameter here, as you can see, this parameter is in the header. The header doesn't mean is in the head. So let's say head, this is the head, then here, this is the body. This is the body, for example. Sorry, let's say this is the head, for example. This is the body, and let's just call this the footer, for example. Okay, so this parameter always comes in the head. They don't have a value. It's only when you are calling the method then you specify a value for them. Okay, so now if we call the method, then we specify a value for them. So we can give it 1. Okay, then we can give it 2. Okay, so now this is called an actual parameter and this is called a formal parameter, because this parameter by the name actual, this parameter, they actually have the value. Okay, so you see the values are parameter and the values are variables, and variable 1 is having 5 and variable 2 is having 37. Okay, so these are formal parameter because they don't have a value. They take the value from this parameter. Okay, so formal parameter, they always don't have a value, rather they use the value the actual parameter gives. Okay, so now this value the actual parameter gives will come to here and this one will come to here. So that's why they are called actual parameters, because they actually have the value, and these are called formal because they don't have a value at the initial state. Is later when they have a value. That's when you specify a value for this and this, then they're going to have a value. So right now if you print this code, it's not going to print anything, you see, because we did not ask it to print anything. So let me just take this into a variable. So let me give it an int, then I'll just put, let me just give it another, let's give it ants, and let me explain why. Then we put an equals to. Now we are seeing this variable here and this variable here are not affecting each other. you'll be wondering why it's not throwing an error to us, because we are using the same variable name, because you can't use the variable twice, the same name twice. So you'll be wondering why this is not throwing an error. It's because these variables are called local variables. They can only be used inside the method. Outside the method they have no effect. That means I'm saying inside here you can only use them, and outside here, that is outside here, and here and here, they'll have no effects. Okay, so they are not existing, they only exist inside the method. So you can give a name of a variable inside here the same name, and you can still give the same name inside here. Okay, so right now that's why we're not saying an error, in case you're wondering. So when you declare a variable inside the method, it's called a local variable, and it can be only be used inside the method, so you can't use it outside. So this variable here and this one here have no business. So let's print it out. So we just have to use what's that, my shortcut again? No. Okay, let me use system dot out dot println. Okay, let's print answer. Okay, see, so right now if we print this, so you see 5 plus 37 is 42. We can still change the value anytime you want to. Maybe we can put 100 plus 100, and we still get 200. Good. So right now this is the logic. Okay, this is the logic. A formal parameter, at the initial state they don't have a value, they take the values from the actual parameter. Okay, that's why they are called formal, because in the initial state they don't have a value, and this actual parameter and know when the method is called. So we are calling this method, that's when this will be appear. Okay, so let me explain this in real words so that you can understand more better. I think it's here. Okay,
I see parameters as an important feature of programming that must be understood. They are used to pass information from one program to another, a feature common to all programming languages. There are two main distinctions that are important for you to understand. First of all, the terms actual and formal are used to differentiate between the parameters in methods calls and method headers.
you see, that are used to differentiate between the parameters for the method headers and the method call. So what is he saying? So this is the method header, and this is the method call, because we are calling the method and we're specifying two arguments to them. This is the argument, this is an argument. Okay, 1, 2 are arguments for this method call, and these are parameters. We're having two parameters here, 1, 2, and the two parameters are the type of integer. Okay, so you are seeing this is the method, and you see it's located in the header, and this is located when you're calling a method, so it's called a method call. Okay, so let me still give you guys more examples for you to understand.
The actual parameter is a variable located in a parameter list of a method call.
Of a method call, okay, you say it's located when you see a method call, so that's how you know an actual parameter. When they are calling it, that's how you know an actual parameter. So it's located in the list of parameter when it's a method call. Okay, so when you see someone calling a method and you're seeing things inside here, let me show you again. When you're seeing someone calling a method and you're seeing this and you're seeing this, so you know this is an actual parameter. Okay, in some languages they are called arguments, so you are calling, if so you understand. So all these methods are also known as functions, but since they are inside a class, we don't refer them as functions, we refer them as method. So in other languages these are functions and they're having two arguments. Okay, so that's how you know.
The actual parameter is a variable located in a parameter list of a method call. the one that passes the information to the method, like a person passing a ball to another person. Or you can say actual parameters are the parameters that appears in the function call, which basically appears in the main function, and they are also known as arguments.
Okay, so I hope this is clear for you guys to understand. As you can see, this is appearing in the method call. Sorry, in the main function. Okay, in the main function. Sorry. And it's not must that they are going to appear in the main function. You can still create another method and still use them inside the method. Okay, and you're seeing it. It talks about argument. So when you see the method call and you see some argument inside, so you know this is an actual parameter. So they have the initial value. Okay, so it's passing this information to this. Okay, just like someone passing a ball to another person.
The formal parameter is a variable located in a parameter list of the method header and is the one that receives information, like the person trapping the ball.
Okay, so they say it's located in the method header and is the one that receives information from where? From the actual parameter. It's very simple. Okay, so it's located in the method header and is the one that receives information from where? From this actual parameter. So this is simple. It's very, very simple. It's nothing hard to understand here. Okay, so you can put this in your own words. I'm still going to give you one more last definition, but please bear it in mind. Don't just copy what you see I wrote here. Okay, I've already submitted. So if you copy it, you're going to, you see, they'll knock you plagiarism. Okay, so you're going to fail it. So please change it in your own words. Give your own different examples. Say something that actually refers to the meaning of this. Okay. So let me give you one more example so that you see.
The actual parameters actually contain the value. The formal parameters contain the value passed by the actual parameter, or you can say formal parameters don't have a value, they take the value from the actual parameter.
Okay, this is so clear. It's clear. The formal parameter don't have a value. They take the value from the formal parameter don't have a value. They take the value from the actual parameter. Okay, so this is clear. I think this is clear. Let's still give some code example where we are trying to use this again. So since you are having a parameter here, you can call this many times. Okay, so if I just delete this, you can still just specify it here like this. Instead of you using a variable, you just put a number here. Let's put this number, and you're seeing what IntelliJ is doing for me. It's telling me the names of the parameter. So now if you plus 888 and 666 together, so this will take this information to here and here, then plus it, then return the answer to this. So let's see. Voila, that's the answer.
First of all, I don't even have female. So anyone coming here claiming to be my sister is obviously.
So let me show you a final result where this calculator is working more better with some graphic interface. We are going to use J option pin.
Call me, whichever is faster. You understand? Yes.
Okay guys, this is what I did. First of all, I want you to listen carefully. Do not copy this. Don't copy this. Make your own code example. I'm just showing you the advanced calculator. That's looking so cool than the first one we did. Okay, so this is the same thing. It's taking these two formal parameters, taking first number and second number, and we're plussing the number together, making creating a variable called addition. Okay, so this is some comments to still explain what it does. Okay, number one and number two are formal parameter type of integer, and they are in the method header. Okay, that is the year method header. Okay, so this is the method and this is the header. Okay, so right now what are we doing here? This is JPens option. Okay, so this asking the user input for the first number and the second number. Okay, so we're storing them inside this variable, and the number are stored as strings. Okay, by default by default J option pane, whatever you put as the input is going to store it as a string. Okay, so we got to convert it into an integer. Okay, that's why you're seeing integer here. Okay, so right now, after the users have put the input, this is going to convert the number 1, that is this phone, to an integer. So this is how you convert this. So you use integer. Okay, this is what you use to convert a string to an integer. Okay, so here I'm converting this string here, that's what the user puts here, as an integer. Then I'm returning it into this variable. So I'm assigning what, after converting the string to an integer, I'm assigning it to this variable. So it's the same thing here. Okay, so now once the input, that's what the user input, has turned into a number, that is an integer, I'm now calling the method. Okay, I'm calling the method and assigning the values to the, that is the argument to the method. Okay, I'm assigning this argument to the method. Okay, so right now it's going to be passed through here. Okay, then this is going to add it, that's addition, then it's going to return it. So the answer will be returned here, and J option show message dialog. Okay, so I'm using it here to show the message. Okay, this concatenation. Okay, so I'm plusing this. This is the first number with the second number, just showing it. I'm not actually plusing it, then I'm showing the answer here. So this is concatenation, I'm just joining it, but I'm not doing any calculations here. Okay, so I'm just joining a string together. This is where the arguments go. Okay, so let me just draw this so that you can see the comments fully. Okay, so let's try it out and see.
No, I don't. Shut up! You know you do. I didn't know any better.
And so my first number, let's plus. Which number are we going to plus? Let's say 247 plus 90, 957. Okay, so 247 plus 957 is equals to 1204. Okay, so the calculator is working. You can try that and see that the calculator is working. Let's try another number again. So let's run the code again. Let's just do 50. Then 50 plus 80. 50 plus 80 is 130. So we see the calculator is working. So whenever we run the code, we can calculate anything in plus. Okay, so 55 plus 99 is equals to 154. Hope this is clear. Okay, so now you guys know what a method is used. A method is used to pass information. Okay, so it's very clear. It's a very important feature in all programming language. There is no programming language that doesn't have a parameter. Okay, that doesn't have a parameter. A parameter is used to pass information. Okay, a method is also known as a function. So but when a function is inside the class, it is referred as a method. Okay, so that's why we're not calling this a function, because it's inside the class, so it's referred as a method, but it's still known as a function. So thank you guys.